Alright, hey guys, what's going on? So in today's video, I wanted to cover the new Halo 3 Refueled playlist that was added into Halo Infinite because I've been playing some games today and I've been having a blast. So I woke up this morning and I played a few games by myself, like about 4 or 5, and then I hopped on later on and played some more with one of my friends, and I gotta say, it's pretty dang awesome. Like, they've recreated the maps very well. As far as I can tell, they play very, much as how they did in Halo 3. It's pretty much the same. Besides, things look a bit different in this game. I mean, it makes sense, it's a different game. They probably couldn't recreate everything perfectly that they had in Halo 3, but for the most part, of course you have different weapons now from the new game that are in the spots where the old weapons used to be. And I think the settings, I noticed the settings are a bit different, like Lockdown or Blackout, I think it was called in Halo 2, has this like desert sort of setting, I think. I didn't really pay too much attention to the settings, to be honest. I was very much caught up in the games because I think the main complaint I've heard from people is that the matches are kind of sweaty, and I will say they weren't easy. We were playing some tough competition, but it is very rewarding when you manage to beat, a team that's pretty good at the game. And to be honest, for me, I kind of enjoy the competition. I like that it's tough, that we don't win every game. Because I feel like it forces us to get better at the game. It teaches you how to play the game smarter and aim better and play the objective better and survive longer kind of stuff. So for me, it's not such a big issue. I'm just happy that they brought back these old Halo 3 maps. So let's just go over the ones that they did bring back. So they got Guardian back, which I have not played yet, but it looks really cool. The Pit, I did play that one a couple times, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Although they kind of already had the Pit with that purple one, but I guess it was kind of nighttime, so the feel of the map was very different there, whereas I feel like with this one, even though the settings are a bit different, the feel of the map is very much the same as it was in the old games. They don't have, some maps that used to be bright being very dark and vice versa. So the Pit is a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite Halo 3 maps personally. I just like that the lighting is good and it's not too big of a map, and there's a lot of close quarters combat, which personally for me, I think I'm definitely better at close quarters combat than long range stuff in this game. As I've been in most Halo games. I think in Halo 3 my most used weapon was just the melee attack, which is pretty hilarious. So yeah, Blackout, which is called Cliffside now. Originally from Halo 2. So personally, yeah, Lockdown's not my favorite Halo map from back in the day. I find it kind of confusing to get around, and there's a lot of areas that you can fall off the map. But yeah, I guess it's good if you're into more long-range combat because there's some pretty good spots to pick people off from. And also, if you're playing the objective, there's a lot of different areas ways you can sneak around and get in, because in the buildings, there's all sorts of secret entrances and stuff and little trapdoors to go through, which makes getting the jump on the enemy a lot easier. Let's see, Domicile, aka Construct. Yeah, so what I like about Construct is just how big of a map it is. You have that big upper area that's very open, and you can jump to that platform in the center, and then there's just this big drop to get to the main floor, which is not really an area you want to be too much, just because it's pretty easy to get picked off from there. And then there's the bottom part where if there's some sort of objective to get down there, things just get crazy because everyone goes in and they throw grenades, and yeah, but I find that map easier to survive on just because there's so many different areas you can hide out, whether that's at the top, which is usually where most of the action happens, or at the very bottom. And Naros, which I played a lot of, actually. I played a few matches on that one. Yeah, so I can say that I'm a fan of Naros personally. I just like the simplicity of it because, you just have two sides, so you know which side your team is on and which side the enemy is on. You have that grab lift to quickly get across, and, it's pretty easy to remember where all the power weapons spawn on that one. And, there's lots of really fun duels to have, in that middle bridge area where, let's say you're pushing with your team, and you come face to face with the other team, and it just gets crazy. And the lower level is even more hectic because you have all sorts of crazy weapons down there, like rocket launchers and sniper rifles. Yeah, so High Ground. That's another one that I personally really like from Halo 3. I like the lighting, it's really nicely lit. And you got that whole open area out front where they give you the weapons and whatnot. So, the power weapons, I should say. and you're basically just trying to go and attack that base. And at the back of the map, you have that base, and there's that other mini base in front of it that with the little trapdoor you can go down. Yeah, I enjoy this one. Personally, I think I have more fun when I'm at the back of the map just because of how close quarters it is at the base. One of the matches I was playing, we had a lot of fights there, and I think it was just a Slayer match. But yeah, a lot of fun and got a lot of kills. And also there's that little nest area up top with like, you know, where the, I think the skewer spawns now, or at least I had the skewer spawn there when I was playing, because there isn't really the Spartan laser anymore. Out of all the weapons, it's probably the most similar to change it with. But yeah, so it, you know, it plays the same, and it's pretty fun when you're trying to take out people running up from the beach when you're standing in the base. Isolation. Personally, it's not one of my favorite maps from Halo 3. I always found it to be kind of confusing to navigate. Now, it's like a version of Isolation if the flood wasn't there, because there's none of those flood elements that there used to be. Yeah, there isn't any of those flood sphincters, I want to say they're called. Like, you know, those little hole things that open up and you go through? Yeah. In Halo 3, yeah, there isn't really anything like that. But layout and everything else is the same, and, you know, basically looks the same as well. I've had a couple capture the flag matches in that, which is pretty fun, and it gets very hectic because if everything is so close quarters and you have to really run into the base, like into the base to get the flag, which can be challenging, but you can also, it's also really easy to lob a bunch of nades in there and just blow anybody to smithereens that's standing inside the base. Yeah, so there's also Critical Dew Point, which is like this Mountain Dew map. It's sort of, it reminds me a lot of Foundry, actually. Like, you know, if you were to build a custom map inside of Foundry. So yeah, with the Mountain Dew map, I would say it's a pretty cool map. I like it. There's a lot of different structures to hide behind and buildings like within that map. And there's some areas that are higher up near the edges of the map where you could really take people out. I've seen a sniper spawn up there. And it's fun to play objectives on. It feels like you're playing in like a laser tag arena is the best way I can describe it. Yeah, and there's some, you know, levels where it's slightly higher and slightly lower. Yeah, and there's just Mountain Dew like all over the floor. Overall, I'd say I like that one and I think it's fun. I would say overall, I think 343 did a good job at recreating those maps. They feel pretty much the same as they did before. I mean, of course, they play a bit differently because you're using different weapons and it's a different game, and you know the way the health works is slightly different. But I mean, in terms of like, you know, remembering where everything is and all the good spots, like they're all back, they're all there. So, you know, if you're used to the map from Halo 3, you will be used to it now. And it's crazy to think how long it's been since Halo 3. And it's cool to see that, you know, these maps have aged very well, and the fact that they still play well in Halo Infinite. I think it just shows, you know, how good map design is really a timeless thing. Yeah, so I would say, you know, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the current playlist, and if you guys are enjoying it too. Yeah, and hey, I'll try to cover the big Halo Infinite updates on this channel, but I'm also going to be making videos on other games as well. You guys can actually check out my review of the recent Spider-Man 2 game. Well, an initial review up here. And I plan on making a full review. I don't want to specify the date, but I'm hoping it'll be out soon. But yeah, that's why I wanted to make this one just kind of something short and fun for you guys. And I gotta say, the Halo Infinite videos have been doing good, I've noticed. So I'm gonna stick with making more of them for you guys. Alright, well anyways guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, it helps support the channel. If you guys want to check out my recent video where I was sharing my thoughts on the Halo Infinite Mark V armor, just click the link right up here. Alright, well anyways guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day. Alright, Johnny Tech, signing out.